We are back to Inside the Box. Today we have a guest here, the infamous Jamie Patarozzi. I've known you for so long and I still think I'm saying your last name wrong every time I say it.
Nope, you're right. It is Patarozzi.
All right.
Yes.
It'd be embarrassing if I said it wrong. Jamie is a fellow business owner here in town. Jamie, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself?
I own True Colors Floral here in Springfield. It's a flower shop. We just moved. The flower shop has been around for quite some time, but I'm a new owner. I just bought it about a year and a half ago. We moved it down to 501 West Monroe. It used to be at 2719 West Monroe, so just a couple blocks down. We moved it. We're right next to Springfield High School. So I own that, but I actually do not work there. I found out after I bought it that I'm highly allergic to flowers.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
pull that right there. You go. Point it right in your mouth.
Sorry.
Allergic to all flowers?
I don't know what flower it is. So I just knew like the first couple of months I was in there a lot. And at first my ears started ringing and I thought I just had like an ear infection or something like that.
Maybe you got the vid.
I did have that, but that was not from the flowers. But yeah, and then I ended up started breaking out with rashes everywhere and went through a lot of trial and error and
just stay away from it now.
Well, now if I'm there, I'm just on 2 allergy pills a day. So
yeah. Allergies are the worst.
They are.
So True Colors, they were over here by us previously, just so people know. It was the flower shop right over
on Monroe and Veterans.
Yeah, Monroe and Veterans.
Like right next to Social Security. So
what was why don't you tell us of how that came about, how you ended up with the flower shop a little bit?
Well, I work.
I mean, you do event stuff.
Yeah. So my day job is signature event rental. We're at a rental company, but I also plan weddings and I have been doing that for about 3.5 years. And so the flower shop, someone put it in our ear and was like, hey, and I've always wanted to be a florist and stuff like that. My mom did floral when she was younger and growing up. And so we've always had a lot of flowers in our house, but
Old Jojo.
But then I found out that I'm not really...
Killed your hopes and dreams.
Yeah, but I'm still creative and I still get to like work in there and very organized. So I help on the different aspects.
So it was a good natural progression of the things you were already doing, kind of an add-on.
So with signature and then the flower shop and then me planning things as well, it just works out pretty well for my career business moves.
Yeah. How has all of this COVID crud affected what you guys got going on over there? I know like flowers are big at events and there ain't a lot of events happening.
Flowers are huge at events. They're huge at Christmas parties or just, they just make things a situation pretty and it just adds atmosphere. A lot of beauty to the room and just something so small can just make a
nice flower set we got here.
Table pop.
It's making our table pop. You see that in the camera over here? All right.
But not only has the events been down, funerals, which is another big where we send flowers to and do flowers. And
praying on the dead over. No, I'm just kidding.
It is awful, but I mean that's where we do make a lot of business.
Bring some beauty to a sad situation.
And since there's no funerals really happening, or if they are, they're really small. People
type things
aren't, having them sent there. Or if you do have somebody that passes away, you usually read the obituary, see where the funeral is, and you would send them to there, but you don't really go and ask the family, like, what's your address so I can send you flowers? Mm-hmm. So those people that knew that person that passed don't really know what to do in these situations and how to reach out to the family and say their condolences. But then also like hospitals. Before, when COVID happened, we weren't allowed to deliver anything to the hospitals. And that was that for a few months. And now people still think that you really can't send.
You can do it now, though?
You can do it now. They have a
different process.
Yeah. So we can't go inside, but we can meet somebody and stuff like that and drop it off. But still, people aren't doing it as often because they don't really know the protocols for each place. But you can send flowers to the hospitals. We are doing a lot of like get well flowers at people's homes. We do like no contact, or we just drop it off on their porch
and
let them
sending them to people that are dealing with COVID or that have had it.
Yeah.
We need like a COVID special.
We could think about it. If you have COVID, send them this arrangement. But yeah, so hopefully it has affected us in a lot of different ways. We've been great. We have a great staff, and we've been able to keep up with the orders just on the low staff that we have. So, and since
have you had to reduce staff at all, or a
little bit, but thankfully it wasn't like the two girls that we had over the summertime that worked for us since I bought it. They went back to school and stuff like that. So
it was kind of a natural thing.
Yeah. It wasn't like we had to let people go. Well, I mean, we did at the beginning. We kind of sent people home just because for those
unsure.
Yeah. But
real quick, one thing I forgot to do, I always forget to do this, but I asked the question, the most challenging, toughest part of being a business owner, but we're not going to answer it till the end of the podcast. So I'm going to have to remember that as well, but we'll see how that goes. Keep it in the back of your head.
Okay, I'll try.
Yeah, man, it's crazy how it's, we've been very blessed to where it hasn't been too bad on us. There's definitely some customers that we would have picked up that have been holding off to try to get through some of this. And then we've had some customers that are like restaurants and stuff that have cut back because they just don't have the same income coming in. I mean, you think about somebody that comes into a restaurant and, that's where most of your money comes from, because they'll buy a couple things and then they might have drinks and this and that, and they're just getting crushed by it. But yeah, flowers, man, it's all the events and stuff. That's tough. It's such a weird time.
It really is. And not only with the flowers, but a lot of events that we're seeing is that now in 2021, we're on like our third date for somebody's wedding or somebody's event. So
you mean like third date, like they keep pushing.
So like a lot of my spring weddings this year, we planned for originally May, and then we're like, okay, we'll be hopeful and we'll move it to July, and then, or they'll move it to the fall or something like that. And then it just, so it's been quite the challenge whenever it comes to the event world with just that, because you're reinventing each time you move it, because you've maybe moved locations or you've downsized size and stuff like that. And that's what happened with all the weddings that I had this year. Me personally, each one of them was a different place than they were supposed to get married originally.
Yeah,
so
having to reduce things, probably cut people out.
Those
challenging decisions. So I guess the flower business to me is kind of an interesting thing, simply because flowers die. They don't last forever, so you definitely have to plan. How challenging is that? Like knowing, it's not like you guys are sitting growing the flowers right there in your store, so getting them, planning ahead to have the flowers, do you mostly just keep a certain amount there, but then order extra depending on events or holidays, or how's that typically work? So
we wholesale a lot of them, but flowers actually have a longer lifetime than you think that they do, because from whenever they're cut to whenever we get them, it's a couple of weeks, and they're not just grown here in Springfield, or even anywhere close, especially right now with the cold. But we can order, and we work with Bill Doran's or Bonnet's here in town, and we can get in almost anything within a couple of days. You have to figure out what kind of flowers you want and what's in season. So peonies is a really popular flower that all women love, but they're only in season for a very short amount of time. And if you try to get them in season any other time, they're super expensive. So, but if somebody does love that flower and they really want it for their wedding, usually peonies are a spring flower. So if you want it for the fall, we can always use silks and then arrange them with actual fresh other flowers and greens and stuff like that. So you still get the flower you want. Granted, it's not a real one, but you still get the look.
It's going to last you forever.
It will. It will.
That's neat. Yeah, no, that's I'm surprised they can get them there that fast or whatever, but I guess if Amazon's delivering stuff in friggin' a day, then you can't. Why wouldn't you be able to get flowers like that? So in off season like this, are they just greenhousing it, or how's it? Do you know?
I mean we get our flowers from Ecuador or overseas or stuff that. Really? So they're flown in, and where the warmer weathers, they're growing, so.
What is there like, all right, let's look at the holidays. Do like each holiday typically have like flowers that are more popular? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So there's flowers that, obviously roses are super popular during Valentine's Day and stuff like that. But you can get roses all year round, but there's so many types of roses and colors, and there's just so many different varieties that they're always in season. But like tulips they're doing the hot like this time of year, and then we'll get them back in the spring. For Mother's Day, they get really popular.
What do we have here?
So we have tulips. Those are the white ones.
These guys?
Yes. And then we have spider lilies in there, which are that big white one.
These?
Yes. And then we have mums, which are the little small white ones. We have carnations, which are the red ones. And then we have snapdragons, which is the white one at the top. Yep.
This guy?
And then we have some
nice.
just other greens and winter greens and stuff like that.
Now with this looks like a pretty good Christmas arrangement here.
It is. It is. That one is about $50.
Okay.
So
everything included here.
Everything included, yeah. And then also something that people don't know that we do is that you can bring in your own vase. So like if you have a signature like holiday vase for
something
Thanksgiving,
special to you or something.
We can always make an arrangement with your vases.
That's
without
awesome.
a problem. That people don't know that we do, or people,
Yeah, I know sometimes we end up just transferring flowers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When we buy something, so that's definitely a good point to make there.
And it saves you a little bit of money too because
I'm gonna charge.
Yeah, we don't have to charge for the vaseware.
So what would the difference be? Say like you wanted, and you might not know offhand, but like say you wanted like something like this, which is you said is $50, but if you brought in your own vase, it might only be $40 or something like that.
You would probably save like $5 to $7, but then you could still do $50, but get more flowers, or like in that we could do more spider mums in there compared to, or the more tulips.
I gotcha.
So.
What are these little guys? Is that just unblossomed?
Oh my gosh, hold on.
It's all right.
Hypertherium.
I don't even know how you remember the ones you do.
There's so many flowers.
Yeah. What do you got, a number? What do you got, some sort of statistic here?
No, I don't have a number.
How do you guys go about, like, do you have like a book?
Yeah. Oh, we have tons of books.
And you could just look through it if somebody wants to?
Correct. And it's like coded for like what season the flowers are in and stuff like that, especially for weddings and stuff. But also, our florists are very knowledgeable and know what you can get and can't get. And sometimes you can get it, but it's just going to cost a lot more than if you got a flower that was in season.
So everybody knows I'm grilling Jamie here, but she's not actually a florist. So she's if she doesn't know something, don't take it too hard on her here.
I know, you're really killing me with all these questions. I'm just kidding.
I gotta stick it out there. Did most the florists that are with you, how long
so we only have one florist right now. Her name is Leanne Nelson, and she has been a florist for probably the majority of her life. I would definitely say like 25 years.
Wow. Experience.
So yeah.
Well, that's good. So somebody knows there. So what's the typical process? Do most people come in and I'm assuming they don't come in like, oh, I want this flower and this flower and this flower. Is it usually like they're just looking for suggestions, or you have some stuff made and they're buying something off the shelf? Or
correct.
What's the typical?
So I feel like a lot of our orders are done through the phone. So people call and we will talk them through like what we have, or we ask what the arrangement is going there for. Because sometimes if it is a sympathy arrangement, people like to stick with like all white flowers and stuff like that. But also we just find out more what that person's favorite color are, and you just have a conversation and really learn about why they're sending flowers and what's it for.
But in the end, they're putting a lot of trust in you guys to make a beautiful arrangement.
Correct. But we do have plenty of arrangements that are in our cooler that are already made up that people can just walk in and say, oh, I like this one, and take it home. Also, we'll let them in like our flower cooler where all of our processed flowers are. And if they like something in there, we can make an arrangement with what they want.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How has the I've been over to the new location. If nobody's been there, it's a great little spot, like she said, right there by Springfield High School. How has the change been? Are your customers, have they been able to follow you? Has there been a challenge there with moving? Or?
So far it's been fine. I haven't had any real issue, and it might change during Valentine's Day because this year we moved right before COVID. So we moved, end of February, beginning of March, and then we were shut down. And then during Mother's Day, we were still like basically nobody could come in. So no one really has got to see our store as much because we've been on like a
lockdown
type more of a social distancing, online orders, curbside stuff like that. But it's a great location because you have it's on Monroe right before the one-way traffic change, so you can still go both ways. And then if you are coming from Lewis, there's a little like side parking lot that you can just pull up there, call us, and we can bring out.
What's next door to you? Also, like a little candy shop or something?
Candy
just to
Pop.
Help, candy Pop, yeah, just to help spot everything there.
Yeah.
But you got like window graphics on your place, right? It's pretty easy to spot.
Yeah, we have windows on both Lewis and Monroe. They're really pretty. Miles did them, so
the vinyl on them.
Yep.
Are nice.
Yeah. So
he was on a few episodes back.
Yeah, we're a big fan of him. So
so I'm guessing that Valentine's Day is the biggest day for flowers.
Actually, no.
Really?
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
Everyone's got a mom.
Oh,
so not everybody's in love on Valentine's Day.
A significant other.
Yeah.
How many flower arrangements do you think you guys send out on like Mother's Day?
We had a fantastic Mother's Day this year, and it went very well. We actually ran out of flowers, so we had to start telling people no because we had literally no flowers, and we ordered a ton in. We pre-ordered, but then we were ordering everything. Even the wholesalers are out of flowers, but I think we did about, I'd say like 350 deliveries between like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of Mother's Day. And we delivered on Sunday this year a little bit. But yeah, we were very organized. We probably sent, maybe more. We probably did like 75 to 100 deliveries each day. So, that Friday and Saturday just depends. But
yeah,
some were more than some were less. But we were very...
That's crazy. I would have guessed Valentine's Day for sure.
Everyone thinks that, but then no, it's really Mother's Day. It's like way bigger.
How's it compare? You said you did like over 300 deliveries. What would you think? Is it like a lot more on Mother's Day compared to Valentine's Day? You don't have to give specific numbers. I'm just kind of curious.
Probably. So this in 2020 was my first Valentine's Day as a business owner.
So really seeing it.
Yeah. And I realized that we did things that I would like to change. And so when Mother's Day came along, we had more of a process and I was more involved.
To go more.
Yeah. And I was very proud of my team, myself, because we were so organized.
Which is huge with anything in business.
Correct. So like the difference is that Valentine's Day, we were out delivering until 6:00 at night because of, I feel like just how unorganized we were, and I was just getting the gist of things. And then this year we were done with, we started earlier and we were done with deliveries by like 3 p.m. each day. So,
nice.
But I would say at least by like 100, because Valentine's Day is typically on one day too, where Mother's Day you can deliver, kind of all week.
And you find people do that kind of throughout the week.
We also kind of try to talk to them too, because we'll give like a little bit of a discount on delivery if they like deliver before rather than,
Yeah, to help encourage people to spread it so you can spread it out.
Yeah.
Which in turn allows you to get more business too.
Correct.
So understandable.
Yeah.
Smart move.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Does So what are the other? Just people ordering flowers on every holiday. Is that what's going on? Am I just slacking over here?
No, I'm not going to say that. Although your wife always deserves all the flowers.
Jeez.
But those are the big flowers days: Valentine's Day, Mother's Day. Christmas is another big one that people are sending arrangements to, or more like Christmas flowers. So like poinsettias, amaryllis, Christmas cactuses, stuff like that. People are getting them for friends and families and
coworkers. You guys
coworkers.
have more than flowers. We got a cactus situation.
A Christmas cactus, yes.
I'm trying to picture. I know what that is. We used to have one of those. Mm-hmm. I don't think it made it. I'm not the greatest with plants. I'm trying to get better.
Yeah, you probably need something like a snake plant. Those tropical plants that don't need much water.
So we moved recently, as you know, and I had a succulent, and somehow it got stuck in a bin or whatever, and it was in this bin for like, I don't know, 2 months, maybe longer. And I pulled it out of the bin, and it was bigger, like pieces had sprouted out of it. It was doing better than it's ever done. It was in a bin, sealed, tucked away somewhere for like 2 months. And I was just like, wow, this just makes me feel terrible about my skills of plants and flowers. But I mean, it's a succulent. But.
Yeah. Succulents are pretty popular. People do love them. We can make like little succulent gardens, something that are cool. But we do have a ton of plants as well. And we can always get people plants too. So
how about like regular, do you have clients that like I know obviously this is people with more money, but like people that have a house and they just want fresh flowers consistently, or maybe they want help designing like something like you said, like a succulent garden or something. Mm-hmm. Like something along those lines. Do you have clients that do anything like that?
Yeah, we have a lot of clients that they're from maybe out of town or something, and their parents live here, and they send them like a monthly flower arrangement at their home or their nursing home or stuff like that. Yeah. We also have, we work with some people that like insurance agencies that decorate outside, and for every season we go and freshen up their outdoor flower bins and stuff like that, or inside. We can also decorate for Christmas at their homes with all their decorations and put it up and down.
Yeah, I would think like some good relationships with like interior designers or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We also are going to start a monthly subscription on flowers.
There you go. I like that idea.
Then you just once a month I haven't nailed out all the details, but you just come and pick up your bouquet, and then we just charge you, each month, and it's just something that you come grab, and you have your vase at home. So something like that, so you can always have something. That's kind of what I was
talking about, just to be able to have fresh flowers in your house and have that nice smell.
Yes. So actually roses have basically lost their smell since we've produced so many, and we keep on.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So
these smell great. I'm getting whiffs over here.
Well, there's no roses in there.
Well, I know. I'm just saying in general, though.
Yeah.
So because they because they keep getting
mass producing them.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that work? You got to find some wild ones or something if you
want. No, I mean
we have like little rose bushes, I guess, at our house, which I'm trying to get rid of because they just have thorns all over them. My kid keeps trying to run into it, but does it? I feel, I don't know. I don't have the greatest sense of smell anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's just all the flowers and the greens, and people, they do get sprayed sometimes with an artificial like rose smell, but like you usually don't smell the rose anymore like you used to.
Is it just the rose mostly?
That's one that I know of that has significantly changed in the flower world. The
flower world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everybody, the mass production, man. It's got to keep up. I guess sometimes you got to make those sacrifices. Although with people getting COVID and losing their smell, maybe it's not.
I know.
It is cool though, because like, I mean, I'm all about like ambiance, like the feeling of something when you're there. It's such a big difference in just how you feel when you're sitting in your room or sitting at your house. And one of the big things, I mean, as you know, but other people might not, is I love lights, good lighting, accent lighting, colored lighting, whatever it is. We got Christmas red and green lights like blinking under our cabinet and our tree and everything. But flowers add not just the visual, but I like sitting here, I can smell these right now and it smells great. So you're kind of getting both senses. So anytime you can kind of entertain the multiple senses, I think that's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, flowers just make everybody happy. Most everybody. There are some people that don't like
unless
flowers.
Unless you rub them and get allergic to them.
I know. I was hoping that I would have this home that's just filled with flowers all the time. And I can't. So, but I have a lot of plants.
I mean, have you tried messing with it at all? Like, you know what I mean? Like testing, like being close, like maybe a little bit further away from me regularly.
Yeah, and I will have them in my home. So like after a wedding that I plan, obviously they have like 30 tables of flowers, and I'll bring some of them home and keep them until they're not alive anymore. But it's whenever I'm really more like around them full force. Eucalyptus is one that I am super allergic to, that I know for sure that as soon as like I'm around a lot of it. So
I don't know what it is with me, but there's something that sets my allergies off, depending on the time of year, but something will get me and it gets terrible. But interestingly enough, I found, playing volleyball, I think that's when I did it, but I'm pretty sure I injured my knee. Yes. And it was bothering me forever. I was wearing the knee brace, complaining about it. Yes, you're quite the
baby.
Yes. And, I just hate like any kind of feeling that makes you not feel 100%. So that was always very frustrating. And I went to the doctor, like a physical therapist, finally, because it just was getting to me enough to where I wanted to get back to normal. And they tried to prescribe me anti-inflammatories, and I was like, all right, I had him give me the prescription, but I was in the car and I didn't end up picking them up because I was already taking CBD, and it's in general that's what it does, is it reduces inflammation in the body. So I was like, well, you know what, I'm just going to try upping my CBD dose. So I upped it and was taking it, and the swelling and inflammation feeling my knee went away. It was awesome. But and that was kind of over prime allergy season. And one day, Jessica, my wife, said to me, you haven't had any allergy issues in a while. And mine would be bad. Like I would shove tissues in my nose, and she would not want to go out in public with me.
I remember all this.
Yes. So one day she said that, and I hadn't really thought about it. I was like, man, the only thing different I'm doing is taking CBD, like a higher dosage. So I started playing with it a little bit just to see if that's what it was. I stopped taking it and reduce the thing, and I would stop taking it, and I would get hit with allergies. It was crazy. So basically, I think it helped me not have issues with allergies over the course of kind of your typical allergy season, I would say.
Yeah, I go back and forth with taking the medication that I'm prescribed for my allergies. I don't take them unless I know I'm going to be spending a lot of time at the flower shop. But
is it like a over-the-counter?
No, they're prescribed from my doctor.
I used to get a shot in the butt, a little steroid, I think. But then the doctor was like, yeah, we're not doing that anymore. I'm like, what? And it would help. I wouldn't have any allergy issues for a while, but I guess it's steroid. I guess it's bad for you, whatever. Yeah,
you're not supposed to be consistent on steroids.
I'd rather be natural anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Good job. Yeah. I mean, that's what they said when I had my lung removed. They're like, you can either live off of steroids for the rest of your life, or you can just have it removed. And I said, all right, I guess take it away.
Make the body get used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. But I don't know, like, if you get like rashes and stuff, I don't see how that would probably help solve that issue.
Yeah. I mean, they are all over my arms. The first time I ever had them, they got so bad because we just didn't know what they were, but they were on my arms, they were on my face, like on my legs and hips. Like, it was just weird because it's not like it's where like I rubbed plants all over my arms and stuff, but
that's frustrating.
I don't know. It definitely was.
Anything that like brings you down.
It's so anything that's not normal, and it just, it's definitely not fun.
Did you lose any senses when you had the vid?
No, I did not. I just had the awful COVID headaches where I just slept all day and they just hurt. Like I felt like my brain was swelling, and then it was just miserable. But I'm thankful I did not lose taste or smell.
I don't get headaches very much. But the other day, we bought like a used swing for our daughter. And I don't know what the deal with it was. It's probably why we got it so damn cheap, but it just started like squeak, 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 squeak. It just squeaks nonstop. And I'm like, God damn it, I never get headaches. I'm getting a headache. And I was so mad. And she's like, you probably got the vid. And I was like, okay, stop. It's because we got this damn swing that is loud as hell.
I know. I cannot believe that your wife sat in a mask 24/7 at your house and nobody else got it.
Safe.
Go, Jessica. Cause
she was safe.
Yes.
Well, tried to be. I don't know. I think I think she's just living in a house of superhumans, though, you know.
That is probably true as well. I mean,
no, I was, she never had any, like, she never was too bad. A lot of aches and pains. She was worried. She thought she was just having back issues at first from carrying the kids around all the time and stuff and picking up the kids. So I was like making her stretch and sent her to the chiropractor and all this stuff. And then she found out she had it. So luckily, not too bad though. Do you know anybody that's had it? Like bad? I mean,
no.
don't drop any names on here. But
I mean, I've known a few people like from social media that I'm acquaintances with, but where they've been some in the hospital, but no one personally to me that I have known that that been hospitalized or can't breathe and stuff like that. So,
which is surprising to me because what I hear is like the hospitals are like full,
and they are. I mean,
but I'm like, man, I can't believe I don't know anybody that's like had to go to the hospital and I've known quite a few people that have gotten it. But well, anyway, I kind of went off on a COVID tangent.
No,
there.
That's fine. It's something that's very real in our life that affects stuff. So.
I hate that, but again, I hate how it's affecting businesses, man. It's just nothing you can. Nothing you can do about it. It's like the government tells you what to do and you kind of got to abide by it, unfortunately, unless you want to. I
mean, you're damned if you're doing, you're damned if you don't, you know, so, and it's hard to make everybody happy. So no matter what you do, someone's going to be unhappy about it. So, but as a business owner, you just have to try to do your best and what's best for you without crossing the line too much. So
did you guys get some PPP help?
We did. So we're very thankful for that.
I got a little bit, not much, way less than I technically should have got if we're looking at just payroll to help cover payroll. Didn't let anybody go or anything during it, you know, kept everybody, let them work from home. But I just applied for forgiveness and sent it to U.S. Bank, and U.S. Bank's like, yeah, you're good. We're going to pass it along to SBA. SBA comes back. Well, I submitted just my payroll instead of like all my utilities and all the other crap it was supposed to help with because my payroll was so much higher than what I got. I was trying to make it easy on them. Like, oh, if they just have to review this one document instead of like
19.
Yeah, instead of a shitload of them, that'll make it that much easier on them. I'm sure they're trying to process a lot of these. So I was trying to be helpful. And then the SBA comes back and says they only want to forgive 75% of the PPP. And I'm like, this is what it was for.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here? And I'm so scared that this is going to happen to all businesses, that they're just going to, you know what I mean? Like screw over so many businesses with this stuff.
We just sent ours in, so we haven't heard back on any of it. So we just got done filing it with our accountant and stuff like that. So
yeah, I don't know. I hope that there was some more sort of mistake or anything. I'm so worried about it. And same thing with like, unemployment. I don't know if you've heard this, but you know, my wife's an independent stylist and there's plenty of them out there, and they were allowed to do unemployment because they were forced to shut down. Well, now the government's coming back to all of these people that were like I don't know if it's just independent contractors, but that's what I've heard so far. And they're telling them they owe like thousands and thousands of dollars in money. And it's just crazy. And Jessica's a member of a stylist group, and tons of them on there are saying it. I know she alone was a lot. Like the number they came back with, I'm not going to put it out there publicly, but the number they came back with, I don't even feel like she got paid that much. I'm like, did we even get like that much from unemployment? And, yeah, I don't know. I'm so worried that it's just going to like all of this together is just going to screw businesses and people. And it's just weird.
Just scary all the way around because you are trying to make the best. And especially for stylists that got completely shut down. And not only that, now that they are back to work, they can't do as much business as they used to because they can only do one client at a time compared to the.
Well, not only that, I mean, she gets canceled on like at least once a day.
That's what my stylist was saying too. You know,
not more.
Yeah, just because they're sick or they're not feeling well or they're not comfortable.
Or they're
with the
around somebody. Or usually with her, it's been like they either think they have it or they were around somebody that had it, or they tested positive, so they have to quarantine. Or someone they live with tested positive, so they have to quarantine. So yeah, it's just I don't know. It freaks me out that. Like I said, businesses and people in general are going to all get screwed by this help, you know, from the government.
Yeah, you just don't, and it's so hard to talk to somebody from there as well,
Right.
like
You
the
can't even
government.
call, and
Yeah.
so frustrating.
Whenever this first started happening, I did get unemployed at my regular job, and I didn't get unemployment because they had the wrong social security number messed up for me. So I didn't get anything until like 6 months later. And thankfully, like I have, extra money in a savings account, stuff
Right, to
like
get
that.
you through. But I think, man, so many people had to burn through so much of like savings if they had it to begin with, which a lot of people don't.
Yeah. I mean, just this year, like the flower shop, like I haven't taken a profit off of it in a long time, since, May technically, because we don't have a profit that we're doing okay for what we have, but it's paying the bills.
Employees and bills get paid first before the owner. That's how it always goes.
Correct. But
downside of being a business owner, people don't think about.
It is. So, but I mean, I'm very thankful that we've stayed afloat, and that we have great people that still support us, and that we have a great employee and staff and stuff like that. But it's still just scary for like the what ifs, like, because if this continues more, there's no events again. The funerals are going away. The flower business is already on a downhill spiral. Thank you.
I had to think about it.
Because just people don't send them as much, and the grocery stores take a lot of our business away because they are cheaper to buy at a grocery store. The convenience, I mean, but they also use a lot cheaper flowers and the greens that go along with it.
Probably been in there longer, so they're probably not going to last as long as something.
Correct. You can walk in there and get a $5 bouquet there. You can't do that at our salon or our spot. But
I have to admit, I was a grocery store flower person before you took over True Colors there.
Yeah. I think a lot of my friends were, but it's okay now. But
you got to support local, baby.
Yes.
How have you guys really put it out there much, like about just in general, just, reminding people that you're local and to support local, stuff like that?
We try to. I can definitely say I'm not the best on social media. I really get in my head about it, but I'm trying to do better. But we try to be as on the internet and social media and talking about ourselves.
Can you I don't even think I've looked. I assume you guys have a website. I don't think I've checked it out before.
We do have a website, and it's very easy to order online as well.
So do you have like standard bouquets that people then can order on there?
Yeah, our website is
what is it, just to put it out there so people
True Colors Floral Artistry.com.
True Colors Floral Artistry.com.
Yeah. Right. It's a long one. But it's really easy to order online directly, and you don't even have to call us. You can write out exactly who we're sending it to, fill out the card when you want us to send it as well. And we can do same day deliveries too. So if you call us today, honestly, it's 10:45, you could still have an arrangement to who's ever home or business that you want us to send it to.
Awesome.
So
well, that's good to know. Yeah, I would think during this time, I feel like I know when another one of our mutual friends got COVID, like everybody was like trying to be, and this was early on when it's like unsure of really what's going to happen. And, I know everybody was like getting her just random stuff, trying to show support or whatever. So I think flowers in general are just a great thing to help keep someone's spirits up. So I think it's a great idea for people to keep in mind, and definitely local flowers.
Yes. And I mean, honestly, our flowers are really fresh. They're really good. And if you take care of them, they're going to last you longer than... We have a 7-day guarantee, but they are going to last you a lot longer than that. If you make sure that they have water, fresh water, if you cut the stems, about a week later and they're still doing well. And then also you can always
supposed to cut the stems later on?
If you want to keep them still fresh. Yeah. Okay. So you just,
good to know.
It just helps them get more water.
Okay.
So,
And you're supposed to do that how often?
I would say once.
Do they keep growing?
No.
Okay.
No, but...
So then you just have to reduce the vase size, or how's it?
I feel like that whenever you cut them, they just get more water.
Okay.
Compared to whenever they just get kind of gross down there too.
Yeah.
With all...
stuff build up or
something. So if your water is definitely cloudy, you need fresh water, but they start drinking that.
Not just add water, but probably change it
Yeah,
out.
it's always nice to just change it out and put more water in there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
again, I'm not the best at plants, so
that's okay.
I don't know. Even ours do last a while though that we've got from you. I remember, I guess it was Mother's Day that you. I got a couple of those bouquets from you for my mom and then for my wife, and yeah, those were great. Beautiful little bouquets.
Yeah.
You got a lot of sample pictures and stuff on your website that people can see.
We are updating it, so by the time this is out, yes, we will have more of our Christmas arrangements like the one here. We have a bunch of different ones, so.
How do you go about, do you, I guess on social media, do you share, you know, what are, let's shout out your social media channels.
We do have our Facebook, which is True Colors Floral. And then we also have Instagram, which is True Colors Floral as well.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You know where you got to get is Pinterest.
Oh, I can barely master Facebook and Instagram. So
just put those pictures on there.
Yeah. And I thought TikTok is what I need to master.
Yeah. Yeah. TikTok's good. It's definitely a lot. I thought they were banning this shit. I don't know what happened. I guess.
I mean, I do get on TikTok every once in a while.
Yeah, it's definitely a black hole. You get in there and you don't get off of it for like an hour.
Yeah.
I've mastered that. No, Pinterest I think would do really well. So when we were remodeling our house, you know, I've had a Pinterest account forever. I don't do a ton on there. You know, usually when we're with customers, we got to pick and choose where to spend their ad budget. So we'll recommend what we think is going to perform best. And most people, if they're prioritizing one platform, you know what I mean? That's usually, it doesn't end up being the one. But for certain industries, it's amazing, especially with like remodeling type things, you know, and that's where I started a board just shared with my wife, and it was just like different ideas for remodeling when we were remodeling our house. Excuse me. And all of a sudden there was like 30, 40 people following this board.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, this isn't even my stuff. It's just a board of pins of other people's stuff. So it was pretty interesting. But I feel like flowers would probably do pretty well on there. A lot of women on Pinterest. We
do see Pinterest a lot at the shop with weddings and events and things like that.
Yeah, brides looking for ideas.
And they're great because they're very creative. You see a lot of different things on there. But what people don't see or don't know is that flowers are kind of expensive. So when you have those big, beautiful bouquets for a bride, like they're not $100 bouquet, you know, so you just have to remember that not everything you see on Pinterest you can afford, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it's just a lot. Cause even if they're fresh or they're silk, they just take a lot of time to manipulate to get exactly what you're wanting. And it takes a lot of flowers just to do a little thing. Well, if people don't
realize that, then there's just some people you can't deal with. Like, anything should have price tiers.
Yes.
I mean, besides buying like a cup.
Yeah.
Or something really basic, but even a cup, I mean, just the difference between these two. But, but in general, you can probably work within someone's budget depending on what they want.
Correct.
They just have to be realistic.
Correct.
About what they're
it's just
getting.
Easier to come in and say, this is how much around what I want to spend. Here's my ideas that I like. How can we make this work?
Yeah. And people have a hard time grasping that. But I mean, even in our business, when we're doing like a monthly marketing package for somebody, the first thing I try to ask and feel out is, excuse me, something stuck in my throat. I try to feel out like, what is your budget? Like, if you can give me an idea what your budget is, then I can recommend the best way to utilize that budget. And similar.
Yeah, it's really hard whenever people don't come in with a budget as well. They're like, I don't know, because then.
Especially for a wedding or something, I think. Obviously, for like a Mother's Day thing, typically someone's like, oh, what can I get for, or there's some
50,
basically
65. So, there's some tiers, but weddings, there's like, I don't know. And then they show us their Pinterest. We do everything that they want, they like. We still try to have that conversation, like, what's okay to spend on this versus that. And then they get the proposal and they're like, oh, that's a lot of money. It's like, can you tell us what you want to spend?
Right.
And then we'll work with you from there, because the realistic number that people want to spend on flowers or decorations or stuff like that. But no one wants to say that at first because they have no idea what happens whenever they get into wedding planning and what they want to
I know when
spend.
we were doing flowers for our wedding, she told me like how much they were or whatever. I was like, I thought we were doing something basic. What is this price here? And she's like, that is basic. And actually, I don't think I'd call it basic. It was beautiful. The flowers we ended up
Simple.
with, simple and just really elegant and cute. Although it would have been a lot more helpful if you owned a flower shop back then.
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, sorry, it was a while ago. I couldn't do your flowers and be in your wedding at the same time. It'd be quite the challenge.
That's all right. It would have worked somehow.
I know, it would have worked. Don't worry.
But yeah, so I mean, basically, I think that's important for people to keep in mind. Like, be realistic with something, and especially during like a wedding or like something big like that, where you're looking at some, and it's important, and you only get married once, and it's like keep that in mind. You want it to be as pretty as possible, because there was a lot of stuff at our wedding that I was like, do we really need that? Like, what are we spending money on this for?
The details.
But it was so beautiful. Everything turned out so nice. Now, like a few years later, it's like, although I didn't flip the bill for everything either, so that helped.
That is always great.
Obviously some people, they're paying for their whole wedding themselves, so that I could see that. But again, budget, so
but you
budget,
can always
pick
do
out how much
something.
You're spending on everything, and
you could have this beautiful bouquet that you want, and we can still make it beautiful in the size, but just use different flowers too, so there's always a difference.
But that's also probably where like a wedding planner or an event planner would be helpful, because they can probably say, if you tell them you have this budget for everything, then somebody like you knows, like, all right, well, flowers are going to be this much, this venue is going to be this much, and it helps you figure out how to use that budget and see if it's going to be enough. So. Yeah,
another challenge we have that comes in with the wedding event world is that people like to do like do-it-yourself centerpieces and stuff compared to getting flower centerpieces, which is great, because you definitely, you're always looking to save money when planning a wedding, because it is pricey.
Right. I don't know. We did our own centerpieces, and it was still very expensive.
That's what I was just going to say. It's like, even if you're still...
And
the time that goes into it, the setting it up, tearing it down, storing it for months. Like, honestly, at the end of the day, you probably spent like maybe $15 to $20 on all the supplies for that centerpiece, but the time that you did it and the storing and otherwise you could just spend maybe $35 per table for a centerpiece and still have something just as awesome.
I think ours was like, I was doing that the other day because I just sold it all, and I was like trying to figure out what we spent on it originally. Yeah, I think we spent I feel like it was like $75 per centerpiece.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you think you buy it in little increments, but it still comes out to the same price or more sometimes with flowers. Yeah. And then you don't have to deal with it, because then look how long it took for you. You moved it from house to house, you stored it, and then trying to sell it on Facebook.
And we spent a lot of time on it because we had all those, I mean, as you know, but the gold branches, these like just bare branches. At first they're bare, but then we wanted them gold, so we painted them gold, and then we wanted some flowers on it, so we like glued on little fake flowers. And this was done over months. Like my wife and me and her mom, we would, at night during the week, we'd hang out over there. And I mean, we treated it more like a hangout, so it wasn't as bad, but still a lot of time invested into it. Yeah. Especially like if you have kids or a business to run, like time at that point gets even more scarce.
Yes. Yeah.
So I could definitely see the benefit. Same with a planner though, like just the stress of like figuring all that stuff out. It's just like,
I do a lot of day of planning or just like stuff like that, or week of, just so it helps the bride and groom just not have to worry as much on the day, and they get to focus on themselves and getting ready instead of having their family and friends set up and tear down and stuff like that. So it's easier just to have somebody come in, just set it up. Here's all my stuff.
Make it look good.
Yeah, tear it down. So
then it saves them probably a little bit of money on a whole planner taking care of every single
Correct,
detail.
because there's a lot of brides that still want to plan everything, but then they don't want to do it,
right. So, and that's kind of how we were.
Because you guys had to set up and tear down.
Yeah, right? We had some lady, a couple, I think they were sisters or something, that had a business that set everything up. And did they tear down? I don't know. Did they? I remember. I thought family might have helped a little bit, but maybe they tore down everything.
They tore down the reception. I remember that.
Yeah.
Your wedding is one of the weddings I talk about the most because it was, I mean, I just loved it. We had so much fun. I loved that they separated the dinner, the dining from the dancing and stuff like that.
It was nice. I wish we had like 2 more hours.
Yeah, I do.
It started getting kind of rushed there to like, I don't know. I feel like just like the dancing side of things went by super fast.
Well, that's where we were having the most fun.
Right. And that's probably why it went by fast, but still like an extra hour or 2 would have been nice.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, just having that small like destination too made everybody stay there,
right.
You know, compared to
people slowly leaving.
When you are in Springfield, you do get to have the advantage of going home if you're tired, you know what I mean? Or
there it's like you're
yeah, so you literally you have to stay, you have to have fun. If not,
what are you gonna go sit in your room?
Yeah, big loser. So yeah, no, it was
at Starved Rock for anyway. That's interesting. It was a beautiful place if you've never been there.
We had to go hiking in the mountains or the
hills.
The hills. I had to do it in my heels because somebody forgot their wife's tennis shoes to climb up the trails.
No, that never happened.
So I gave her mine. What a great bridesmaid I was.
So funny story, just if anybody's interested in this. We were getting pictures taken back in the woods, like under this waterfall. I don't remember. Was water dropping from it? Yeah. So we had this bin of everybody's shoes that we put together to like get everybody to be able to hike up there. And then nobody used their regular shoes. And then the bin got lost. And then eventually left out in the rain, and everybody's shoes couldn't be found the next morning. And when they were found, they were completely soaking wet. So that was a fail. Mostly, I'll take most of the blame for that one.
It's okay.
And I felt bad. I made one of my groomsmen carry the bin of shoes, and nobody ended up using. All right. Well, yeah, no, I think it's very important right now more than ever. Although I think it's always important to remember to shop local. If you're thinking about flowers, definitely True Colors is a great place. Yeah. Jamie might not be there because she's allergic, but you could definitely reach out to her. She's going to make sure your flowers look amazing, and her florist, 25 years of experience. I mean, when you're trusting somebody, especially if you don't know what you want, you got to put some trust in somebody with some experience. Yeah,
just give us some details about what they like, they don't like, colors and stuff like that, and we can just make something that will be unique towards them, you know. So if they don't like a certain flower, we'll definitely not use it. But
all right. Well, anything else that people should know that we need to share? I'm trying to think of any other things about this flower business.
I don't know. I mean, definitely just give
me a number. What's a guesstimate on the number of flower options in these books that you could choose from? Like not just season, but like if you had to go through one of those books, what is there? Thousands? Hundreds?
Thousands of different flowers.
Jesus, I had no idea.
I mean, because just in the rose family, there's hundreds of different roses and colors. And right now we have really cool Christmas roses that are like red and green, you know. So
they're naturally like that, or
no,
people
they're dyed them?
Yeah,
but I mean, there's just so many different kind of roses out there that you have no idea. I mean, spray roses, garden roses, you know, just different types of roses. So
thousands. How thick's the book?
I mean, we have them color coded, and I think there's like 6 different. Okay. So
yeah. How long do you know how long True Colors has been around even before you bought it?
I don't know. I mean, my mom worked at True Colors back whenever.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. So I think I'm the 5th owner. So, but definitely like 20 years.
I was going to say 20 plus years.
Yeah. And it's definitely moved some locations too. So yeah.
We had Tracy with the Running Center on the previous episode, and I had no idea. Running Center's been there for like I don't know if it's been just there. I can't remember if it's probably moved, I'm sure, but 42 years.
Oh, wow.
I was like, holy crap. I had no idea they'd been around that long.
Yeah.
But that's amazing to see a local business last that long, even though it's transferred owners, whatever. The same in general, the business, the name has been there. It's survived for that, you know, a period of time, even 20 plus, you know, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I was talking to another local florist the other day, and I think she said that she's been in the business for about 40 years. And whenever she started, there's probably like over 30 different flower shops. And now there's only like 10 local florists, like flower shops around here. So
yeah, I can only think of 3 maybe.
Yeah. So definitely support your florist. You know, don't buy them at a gas station or grocery store.
And I think that's one of those things that people don't necessarily think about, like buy local. You know, there's certain things where you might not think about it.
Or shopping boutiques and stuff like that. But getting your plants at a local florist versus Lowe's, just little things like that.
Yeah, or like the markets where they sell plants and stuff like that. Do you guys carry much like plants?
We do. Especially during like the spring and the summer and stuff like that. We have a lot of tropical plants because I really like those. So, but we can get anything in, you know, so, snake plants.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. Snake plant is definitely something you should have for your home because you don't have to water.
I don't even think I know what that is. What's it look like?
They're also called a mother-in-law's tongue.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Actually, I'm getting one of those.
Okay,
My mom has one that's like super old. She's had it forever. Like I remember having it the whole time I was a kid, and I don't know how old it is before that. But we just got some new pots finally for our bedroom, and that's like the only place we could have pots on the ground because our kids would.
Yeah.
And even there, I'm a little bit nervous, but. So yeah, I'm gonna get that and put it in one of those, like a piece of it, and I think that's kind of cool just because it's such an old plant. You know, we've had it forever.
Yeah.
So I remember when I was a kid, man, bringing it inside during the winter, being outside also. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just always around, and I never really thought much of it, obviously, as a kid. But now I'm like, yeah, it's pretty cool. We've had that thing forever.
Yeah.
And it's gone like out of control at her house. It's huge. It's crazy looking. So she's trying. And she even said she wanted to like. Separated or whatever it's called when you
repotting it into stuff like mine right now is outgrown in my house and it needs a new pot, but I can't find one I like, so
I know. And I found some that we liked online. The picture was a little bit deceiving, but we still liked it when we got it. And it was a friggin' expensive pot.
Pots are expensive.
And I was like, this is just a tin little thing. How is this so damn expensive? But it was literally like the only one that I found that we both just really liked. And I'm like, well, we're going to have this forever, basically forever, so screw it.
And they don't, I mean, they last forever too, unless somebody pushes them over.
Right.
So.
And it's a tin one, so it's not like it's going to accidentally break.
Yeah. Make sure it has a drain hole in it, though. It's very important.
It does not have a drain hole. I don't want it leaking on my floor.
Well, you kind of need one.
Why?
So the water's...
Doesn't it just soak it up?
I mean, sometimes you can overwater a plant, and then it hurts them more than it helps them.
All right, I just got to make sure I do not put over water.
Well, snake plants, you need to water them like very often. So
yeah, I usually just make a round like once a week and hit everything.
Yeah, I mean,
although we have like a herb thing on the wall with like herb plants, and it's not doing the greatest. I don't know if it's not getting enough light or it's my fault or what, but hopefully we could keep those alive.
You'll be fine. I pinky promise. So.
All right. Well, True Colors Floral.
Yeah.
Support local flower shops over by Springfield High School.
Yep.
Right there on
Monroe and Lewis.
Right on the corner. Got a nice little new shop over there. Go check it out. You guys sell gift cards?
We do.
Gift cards?
Yes.
Or just send the flowers. You don't need a gift card. The flowers are the gift.
Yeah. Everyone loves flowers. Okay, not everybody. I keep on saying that, but most people do.
Who doesn't? Like a guy, he's like, why'd you get me flowers? Is that what we're
Guys
thinking
like
here?
plants, but there are some women that say, I'd rather you spend money on something else versus
I see what you're saying.
Something that passes away. You know?
Right. Yeah. Then you just have more junk you got to deal with.
I know.
I know my wife would hate that. She wants to throw everything away. Don't buy her nothing. She doesn't want to store it.
Exactly. Plants are pretty for the time being, and then they die, and then
you can get new ones.
Yeah.
But it's kind of neat because you can switch it up. It's kind of like a piece of art. You know, art. If you spend money on art, you're not usually throwing that away.
No.
But this is like something you
always
can swap
changing.
out.
So
new designs, new flowers
for
every season. Yeah, I think that subscription model would be a great thing, especially once this COVID thing's over. If you could get people who would if you could just come in their house and swap out new bouquets.
Yeah, we might do that, or because if it's big, we can't.
Right.
We're not
Have
that
to figure
large,
it out.
but
I'm
you can just always just
maybe.
come by the shop and just pick up your bouquet. Very simple.
Yeah.
Meet you on Lewis Street and just hand them to you through your window.
It's perfect for right now.
Yeah.
But that'd be pretty cool, I think. I mean, obviously there'd be extra expense there, but if like monthly or bi-monthly or something, you could set something up where it's like come out, swap out flowers.
Yeah.
Give you a fresh look in your house.
We do seasonal stuff for a lot of people too. So like a seasonal wreath, like a Christmas one, a fall, a spring, a summer.
So you got wreaths over there too.
We can always make wreaths.
All right.
Mantle pieces.
Everything.
So, yeah.
We what about like so we have like it's fake garland on our new mantle, but do you do stuff like that, like a Christmas mantle garland type of thing?
Yeah, we have tons of garland at the shop. We can get real or silks, and we can dress them up as much as you want us to, so.
I love the smell of so my aunt always sends us a wreath from Maine. And I used to put it on the front of the door, but I always want the smell of it. So we started just putting it on the inside of the door so we can enjoy it, seeing it, and we also kind of get the smell of it. And we don't buy real Christmas trees, so we don't get, that's kind of where we get our little bit of an outlet there.
Yeah. Your Christmas tree this year is huge, so.
Front, good old 12-footer.
12-footer.
You watch my video of it?
Not yet. You told me about it the other day. I need to. So maybe I'll go back to my office and do that.
All right. Well, we will link True Colors website below. Like she said, you can order right online, make it nice and simple, pick up right outside. I assume you carry out the cars, whatever needs to be done, whatever somebody needs.
Honestly, whatever
you
need. And we'll deliver everywhere too. So not just Springfield. Not everywhere, but we can do the more out of town locations, so some florists aren't able to do that, but we can
do it.
So we deliver to Middletown or to Pleasant Plains, so it's a little bit of a drive, but we'll take it out there.
Chatham, Sherman,
Rochester,
Central Illinois here.
Yeah, so
good to know. All right, Jamie, well, thanks for coming on the podcast. Everybody support local, check out True Colors, links below. And also, I meant to say this at the beginning of the podcast, but this is on Spotify. It's on Apple Music. If you're watching it, you can continue it in your car. Very easy. And Jamie, I almost forgot. Hardest part, being a business owner. What do we got?
I just trying to be creative, keep up with what people need, and trying to reinvent yourself,
the new staying on top of it.
Yeah, flowers, like I said, it's people don't order them enough, and so trying to be relevant is quite the challenge for us.
Yes.
So
you guys need a good campaign going, man. You got to set a budget for social media advertising.
I know.
Put it out there, just regular. It's all about top of mind. Just stay on top of mind. Don't especially, well, you wouldn't be able to advertise COVID. You wouldn't be able to say that, but you could say make that, something about making someone feel better or something. You gotta be careful because you don't want, they won't let you run an ad if it has the wrong terminology because they don't want it to be negative. And you can't really say anything about COVID, but you could word it in a way to where you put it out there, and then at least people are seeing it and they have the idea to be able to, especially if you can order right on your website.
Yeah.
You would probably have a lot of success with that.
Yeah, I need to start.
Think about it.
Yes.
I could show you the basics.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on, Jamie. And until next time, everybody.
All right. Thanks for having me.